Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of BrainDeadStudios. This time we're doing a little bit of a different kind of episode. It's kind of like a talk thing, kind of like a podcast, but instead it's more of kind of garnishing an issue that a friend of mine here has, and we just wanted to, kind of make light of it, and just kind of if there's anybody else aware or out there of aware of this issue, just to be on the lookout, and if you got friends, family, and family members to be aware of stuff like this. I think maybe it'd be helpful for our friend here, and also for um just getting his story out there. So Christopher, just introduce yourself.
Howdy.
No,
Don't really know where to go from here.
yeah, right. Christopher here. Basically, Christopher used to do the artwork for us. He still does the artwork from time to time, but for thumbnails and stuff like that. But he's still a good friend, and we talk to each other daily, right, Christopher?
That is correct.
Now, Christopher here brought up something very serious a while back, and I thought it was something that I thought would be very important for him to share his story if he was willing to talk about it. So, Christopher here suffers from oh my goodness, I'm tripping up on the word.
SPD, sensory processing disorder.
And as a result, formed a bit of an anorexic state, right?
Yeah. Throughout most of my life, just because, like, I I couldn't exactly. I didn't enjoy eating. We'll go with that. I didn't
Mhm.
enjoy eating like everybody else in the world does or whatnot. If something got too close into my mouth and it felt like a paste, my mind would immediately toss it out. Like I could not physically eat that.
Which
Um,
now this is basically the sensory processing order disorder. Sorry. Um, how has it like affected like growing up as a kid? Like, what were some of the things that you just kind of wanted to try but you just never did because of it? Like things, was that always like an occurrence? You just kind of like,
um, yeah, I kind of felt left out for a while because whenever people would talk about food, it would always be about like something
junk
mentally
foods and
retarded,
garbage. Yeah, like
um
pudding,
like like spicy foods or like pudding or
spicy.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I just I couldn't I couldn't experience what they were experiencing for the longest time.
And I
And
can imagine as a kid that would be like kind of shitty because you really can't really formulate into words quite right why you weren't eating or doing some stuff, and so your parents must have been
oh
really
yeah,
kind
they
of,
thought I was a picky fuck, and that didn't
yeah.
help things. um,
They thought
but
you're picky, so they didn't realize that you got a problem either.
yeah, and we realized a little too late because
Oh,
there is a certain age to where you can get some type of therapy for it, and it's supposed to help out. I
it
honestly have
sucks.
no idea,
Have
but
you looked into anything like that? Is there any sort of like cure or way to kind of like trick your brain into thinking otherwise? Because it's really just a mental state, isn't it?
it is, it
I don't
is.
know enough to really
And
make that claim. So anyone in the comments that says otherwise, like we're having chats here, we're being cordial. So just letting y'all know.
it is, but it's a lot more tougher because I feel like when people say like it's a mental state that oh you can like slap a bandage on that, but
Because
like
no, because a mental state, even if it is, it's hard to break something, especially like you said, it's something you've been dealing with your whole life. Now, that said, I'm sure you have a list of foods that are just a big no, and then there are, some that you do like, right? That you
yeah,
can
like
put up with.
I've tried to eat mac and cheese for my father's sake. Can't eat it. I can't eat it. My body physically will
So
not
when your
let me.
body physically can't, do you gag? What is it? Is it
Yeah.
like
My mouth opens up, I gag, and sometimes on occasions I throw up, and it sucks.
so?
It's
And
not.
it's like a bile kind of throw up. It's not like an actual like I'm throwing up with actual stuff. I'm
Yeah.
throwing up mucus and bile, so it
Yeah.
hurts. That
Exactly.
sucks. So
And
food groups that you just avoid altogether. You mentioned spicy foods. That's a definite no. How
yeah.
about things like any creams, ice creams, pudding?
Ice creams. it depends. Like I tried I tried some of those yogurt ice creams before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I can't have that. Um, Regular ice cream I could have like small quantities of,
before it
which
becomes a problem, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And
wow.
yeah.
Now I noticed. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Pizza is also something you always mention. You always like pizza. You're like a little Ninja Turtle. You
Yeah.
like pizza. So how did that come to be? How did you find out that pizza was one of your like go-tos that you could eat pizza?
My father introduced me to pizza at a extremely young age, as I'm sure everyone was kind of
Everybody's
introduced to
a pizza.
pizza.
Pizza is for parents where like the half-assed. I'm not really making dinner tonight kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the cheese pizza I was able to eat, but I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy it. The pepperoni pizza, it had something, I don't know, it had
It
that
had
extra
something.
kind of,
It had that extra something to eat, Nano. So when you do
yeah.
pizzas, do you add anything? What's your big no-nos and what are like things? Obviously, banana peppers are out of the question.
Yeah. Um, to be honest, anything that's solid, I'm happy with. But it's like the moments where if I can feel, and I know this sounds retarded, but
No,
it's
it's
also why.
sensory. So like crunching or anything like a what
Oh
like
yes, anything
so like green
crunchy.
peppers. Green peppers are a no as well, right?
Yes, yeah,
Okay. So
that's
onions.
a
What about
big
onions?
onions. Yes, yes, I'm all for onions because I can feel that crunch
What
occasionally.
about mushrooms? Mushrooms are a bit odd for some people. So
Mm,
are you a no
not
mushrooms kind of
not
guy?
not really. I tried them
No.
on the cowboy pizza that we had here, and that I figured that's
So
it's not really a
you have a lot of
pizza, but
picking out of your food you have to do sometimes when you're like wanting to try something. At least you're trying something, especially with your disorder. I mean,
yeah,
most people just don't fucking eat some shit, and it's like, dude, you don't even want what some people have, like an actual
yeah.
problem, you know?
But
I'm sure you would trade it
for
to actually
years
eat just about anything.
for years I felt like I was an asshole because I was like whenever like people would have like their family cook or whatnot.
Oh God,
Um,
you had to be like, oh, you'd either have to stomach it or just not eat.
yeah, exactly.
So
And
did you? How many times? What was the excuse you used all the time? You must have used some excuses. Was it really just I'm not feeling too well,
um
can't eat?
I would just say no thanks, I already ate, but I'll tell you what, I'll probably like take it home or whatnot if
Oh, so
I'm still
you
feeling
were real
hungry.
nice about it. You That's a smart way of doing it.
Yeah. I still felt like an asshole though because I'm like I know I'm not gonna eat this and it's just gonna go to waste.
It's
So
gonna be thrown out. But you know what? That's a lot better for some people. That's the initiative of it all that really kind of puts people's minds at ease. So you said that you suffered from because of this, because you had like less food options and food groups. I would assume you missed out on like certain proteins and stuff like that. Your body became more of into an anorexic state. Is that correct?
that is exactly correct.
How did this affect you like in life and like just in general, even today?
Um,
Is it still a big problem now or you got a
it,
handle on it?
it's still a noticeable problem, but it's certainly not as bad. I'm gaining a lot more weight than I would have ever thought possible when I was in like middle or high school, for that matter.
That was metabolism. Now you're getting old. That's what that is.
Yeah, but it was definitely hard in school and so forth, especially in anything exercise related because that was literal hell.
You
I
literally break
remember.
something on you. Huh?
I remember I was if the weirdest thing is if it was on my back, I was perfectly fine. If it was to me actually doing anything though with my arms, legs, or whatnot, everything just
Just kind of
was
shut
not.
down.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was running for you then? That must have like
Um,
jogging, running in place, jumping jacks, skip rope, anything?
I
Did you do
kind of
any of that or
hated it
no?
because I used to like running, but I kind of hated
But
it
the
because
impact of it all that would have on like lungs and like calves and everything like that did that like affect you any?
Yes, yeah. It goes without saying that for like jogging tests and shit like that, I was bottom of the barrel. I was nothing impressive. I just kind of was there, kind of like, okay, this is the worst shit that I've ever had to put up
Did you ever
with
feel
in my
that
life,
like
and
that blood
there's,
lung kind of thing, that iron lung thing, where you feel like it was like you're kind of bleeding in the lungs almost because you're just like weren't able to keep in
um,
shape or something, or
I felt like I think the worst was probably like a burning sensation, but I mean, everyone around the time said that they felt that. I was just kind of I just kind of got a bit more winded faster than everybody else because I was like, I want to say 120 maybe like
and you're
115.
you're a taller guy, aren't you?
Yes.
So your body weight was not nearly what it should have been at then,
Yeah.
obviously, right?
Yeah, I
Did the
know.
doctors ever talk to you about like alternatives or anything to do with that, or did they prescribe anything or like find any like
Um,
supplements
uh,
for you?
the best thing that they offered was vitamins, vitamin drinks, with
Vitamin
nothing
drinks.
but
Okay.
protein, with nothing but
Do one
like,
of those
and
things. But those can be chunky and gross though. So how did you deal with
exactly.
those? That
Um,
sucks.
it was a matter of finding what worked for me
Finding
because
the right one, right? Do they have a
yeah.
pizza drink for you? So how are
No,
you with chips though? How are you with chips though? Because like
chips have that
chips can be
crunch, and
shows so they've something.
I
It's
just
more of like your teeth having something to do.
I guess.
It's
If it gets too far back on my tongue, though, then I freak out. So I nibble on the chips till they're like, and then I push them to the sides of my mouth, and
they just happen to accidentally fall back. Oh my goodness.
yeah. But I mean, hey, that's life.
What
And
would you have to what would you have to say for anybody that is going through this? What would you recommend for people that like are either suffering from anorexia or a sensory processing disorder when it comes to eating food? Because like there are sensory processing disorders that people have like that with touch and feel and hands and everything like that. But then there's like the food process of it all. And you're more in the food category. Do you have anything else though, sensory processing, like with when it comes to physical touch?
thankfully, no. Not that I'm aware of, at least. Um, I don't think so. I don't think I have anything other than the food thing. But it's no picnic. It's no picnic, but there are definitely ways to go around it. But it kind of puts life in a whole new perspective for you.
Mm.
And
But you definitely have to figure out to find out your food groups that work for you, and then the ones that can actually help you in terms of staying healthy and staying fit and staying, because you can't
yeah,
live your life on pizza all the time. So you gotta.
yeah, exactly.
What are other foods that you like besides just pizza?
Besides just pizza, I would probably say pizza's always going to be on the high point for me. Uh, garlic bread second. uh,
You just cut out just now.
crispy chicken's
You said
pretty
crispy
good.
chicken.
Yeah. Uh, for fruits, pears, straight pears, those are pretty good. Same with like nectarines and stuff like that. Uh, I know it sounds weird, but like, just having that first initial bite into it is just enough for me at the beginning, and I don't know, my mind's just
So
kind of
I
stable
guess your
from that
body
point.
has really developed like a smaller stomach, so you, intake wise, you don't really have to eat nearly as much.
Yeah, yeah.
Shrinking stomachs do happen to people that are anorexic. So have you? But you've sprung back though, right? Like you can you
Oh
lift
yeah,
weights
yeah.
now?
Oh,
Because I know you were
absolutely.
talking. You told me
Yeah,
about the weight, like the 10 bar thing, and I was like,
yeah,
man, that's
yeah.
gonna be rough.
Uh, when I was in high school, and even throughout middle school, my nickname, because I literally looked like a walking fucking Grim Reaper, was Skin and Bones because I look like Skin and Bones, and
Mm.
yeah. um, but in high school, I I struggled to lift the 10 pound bar, which is the basic like no weights on it bar.
Just the bar
And
itself.
yeah, yeah. And it's not the biggest highlight of my moments, but it was it was kind of just I don't know, I just saw it as whatever, that's life. Yeah, I can't
Did
really
people
do
treat
anything
you
about it.
differently any at all? I mean, high school can be rough for people. People
Um,
talk about it, or
Middle school, not so much high school.
really?
Yeah, yeah, high school. We were all pretty nice to each other. I had a group of friends that I hung around with. They could see something was clearly wrong with me, but they didn't really, bring it up or
Address it or say anything. It's like, hey,
yeah.
what up?
But yeah, and I don't know. I always thought at the end of high school that I would be better, and I kind of am. So I guess I can say that, but I kind of thought right when I get to that finish line is at the end of high school, and I got really depressed that nothing was changing.
Hmm.
And
Magically, you're just like, all right, today's the day I'm eating pudding. Like, just gonna go away.
my parents were very supportive once they found out, and once we all found out, though,
So
and
it
it
took till
was
the end of like what high school for it to really kind of come to light.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
that was that was just great.
I mean, it's a weight off the shoulders, really. I mean, finding out that there's something and you're like, hey, I'm not an asshole this whole time. I've really had a problem.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
and
back to the pizza thing. Pizza can be very different depending on where you go. Are there certain places where their pizza just ain't cutting it? Something's off. It feels weird, and you just can't deal with it at all.
um, Papa Murphy's sometimes.
Sometimes, okay, but that is
Yeah,
one of those you cook it
because
yourself, so that might be on
yeah,
your
yeah.
cooking method.
But they have these things that are like meat lovers pizza, and I think that
Yeah,
it's just a sandwich at that point. I'm sorry, like the
it's
way
got a
that
bunch
they
of stuff.
make
It's
it.
got the ham. It's got the beef. It's got the sausage,
Yeah, yeah, it's got a lot of that, but the way they do it is like
chicken.
they put it under the crust and they put it on top of the crust, and it's just like I don't know, it
Oh,
feels
under the
gross.
crust, really?
Yeah, yeah,
That's dumb. It's
yeah,
just a closed face sandwich at that point.
yeah.
You
That's
realize
exactly what
that
I was saying.
pizzas are technically an open face sandwich. It's classified
Uh,
as a sandwich.
I did not.
Yeah. Now
But
you know you've been eating sandwiches this whole time.
one thing that I always ate as a substitute, whenever I needed meat or protein or whatever, I would always have a plain hamburger. If I had cheese on it, my brain would just I could not. Um,
Hamburger.
I'm I'm happy to say though, I'm happy to say that that is changing.
That
That
is changing. That's good.
there is some light at the
Cheese
end of
is
the
so
tunnel.
like just randomly like I don't know. I don't really think about these things until somebody's bringing it up, and I'm like, I guess for some people it would be pretty weird, but it's like I don't know. You grow up when I'll eat anything. The only thing I can't eat is beets. Uh, it's a vegetable, and it makes me gag each time. I can't stomach it. I can't eat it. I can't handle it. But I'll try just about anything. I'll eat freaking squids. I'll eat weird stuff, dude. I eat it all.
Yeah, but I went from my entire life being anorexic to hell, I'm trying fucking. I'm happy to say that I've gone out of my comfort zone a lot. I've tried some Shanghai. That was an interesting experience. Um, Still a little weird,
Oh,
but
so like actually trying different like
oh yeah,
cultural
like
foods and stuff. Okay, so you hadn't even tried like Asian cuisines at that point.
oh no no no.
Oh, damn.
I
Did you
think
were you diagnosed with this, or how did it come to terms? You said it was towards the end of high school. Do you guys like diagnose like a diagnosis of
um
sorts?
yeah. I'm not entirely. I don't
100% on
entirely
that one.
remember it, if I'm being fully honest when it comes to that. I don't know how I got
But it
diagnosed with
came to
that.
light. It came to light at somehow point.
Yeah, at some point, it's somebody new. And my parents tried like hell to get me to this therapy thing, and they were saying that I'm too old, so the therapy session won't work.
Huh.
And that was
That's a
kind of
pretty
like,
good.
oh,
That's a
I'll
pretty
go
good
fuck
note though
myself.
for people growing up or he know somebody that's like this
Yeah,
to get it soon, get it looked at sooner rather than later.
yeah. But I mean, this did have something to do with my mouth, not so much just food in general, because
I
like
wonder how the therapy would work for that. What do they do? Put marbles in your mouth like they do for like speech impediment people?
I I got no idea if I'm being 100%. I would love to know how or if it's possible. I know in Washington we literally have like one place for it. It's not common
It's very
whatsoever.
rare. It's a very rare sighting, so it's huh. Wow.
Yeah, and we had to go all the way to like I think Linwood, and we live all the way in Port Orchard, so that's a 3-4 hour drive.
Damn.
I mean, I would have been down for it either way, but
What's wrong with our kid? Shaking him. How are
but
you with drinks and stuff? Do you drink milk? Milk's for
oh yeah,
strong
yeah,
bones.
drinks, I'm completely fine with.
Drinks are you're 100% with. Okay.
Carbonated, it depends how carbonated though.
Like fresh carbonated like Coca-Cola. That hurts my freaking throat.
Yeah,
Imagine what
I
it's doing
can't.
for you. You can't do
I
that
can't.
now. You're not a Coke guy then. I know Coke, no fresh Dr Pepper, none of that.
I've had fresh Dr. Pepper, but that was more or less like it was like sips. I never like took like
Oh
full
no,
on swigs of
Jesus.
that. Like,
What about root beer then? I'm assuming all the dark colas are definitely like a no go. Like you prefer like
honestly, root beer. If we're talking like the AMW root beer,
yeah.
I didn't have I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't like the taste of
That's
it,
more
but I didn't have a
that's more
problem with that.
sweet. That's more sweet than anything though.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
But I'm talking about like dark colas, Dr Pepper, Coca Cola, Pepsi, whatever other cola brands are out there. Just the darker sodas that are would be like more powerful. Are those the ones that are like you rather get a light soda versus a
Yeah, like I don't really touch soda as much. I'm more water.
more water? Yeah, I'm always water now. I don't fucking you think with a name like Slow Soda Pop, but I'm water all the time now.
Yeah,
I
but
do water and then water and milk. That's all I ever drink really now.
yeah. One thing that I have noticed though, compared to like a lot of people, like the first thing that I notice is like they'll drink like one, I think like 12-ounce soda can or whatever, and they'll be like, all right, I'm good for the rest of the day, and I'm just sitting there like, what?
Well, here's the thing. Here's something that somebody taught us, and it was weird because, and then also this will scare the shit out of everybody here. Um, when I was young, the doctor recommended that I I'd been to like two different doctors before I was diagnosed with ADHD, right? I think everybody has ADHD nowadays, but
Yeah,
he basically told my mom, give me a Mountain Dew, and if I'm able to focus on certain things, then I have ADHD. The reason is because Mountain Dew, right? You might be drinking Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew has the same some of the same formulas that they use in for Mountain Dew to make it, like the powder and all that crazy shit they put in that you can't pronounce. It's the same sort of stuff that they put into Concerta, the medicine that they use for ADHD.
that is
That's
scary.
that's fucking ridiculous. So if ever you're like, oh, that's why when they say, oh, it makes you game and you focus. Yeah, you're focusing, but not for the right reasons. You're fucking wired, is what's going on. So, well, thank you so much for talking about this, though. It's not easy to bring up different problems. If you or a loved one or anybody you know is suffering from something similar to Christopher's had or had to go through. We're really proud of our friend here for being able to speak up about this sort of stuff and to really just kind of get it out there and just make it known and share his story for you guys. If you guys know anybody like that, definitely send them this way. And if you feel you're in the same boat, definitely look into a professional. If you got to drive even 4 hours out of the way to maybe get that diagnosis, maybe it's for the best. Make a road trip out of it. But thank you all for watching. I'm Ethan, and this here is my friend Christopher. And thanks for watching these spin-off podcast of sorts. We'll see you guys on the next Brain Dead Studios episode. Peace.